What's up, guys? Ted here with Bodies and Wicks, and I know it's been a while since I've done a video, but just wanted to do a quick one, I guess. Going over a couple different things. I just wanted to check out maybe 4 charts, see what we can identify, and see where these paths are going. Again, we're coming at this from smart money perspective, which means we're not basing anything off supply and demand. We're not, trading triangles or flags or trend lines or following channels or, making harmonics or anything like that. We're basically looking at price. Basically, price is an algorithm, and that algorithm seeks out balance and liquidity. And if you don't know what liquidity is, it is where people have their orders in the marketplace. And so if you have a sell order or a buy order, the algorithm actively seeks those out to try to produce or get more money flowing into the chart. And then the smart money, basically, it'll go basically the opposite way of what you think it will, just because that's the way smart money operates. You're taught retail for forever, unless you're like me and I was taught retail. I understood it, and then very shortly after I found smart money, and then I realized, oh, no wonder I kept losing all that money. I kept following this dumb idea that was clearly planned to fail. So if any of you have not checked out smart money, put your maybe put your thoughts of what you had about trading aside for just a second, and maybe give smart money a try. So let's head on over here to a chart, and yeah, let's check out Monero. And while I'm doing this, I might as well take myself out. That way I am not in your way. There we go. Alright, so we are checking out Monero, and this is very, very up close. I probably should have saved this for later. Not at least save this for later, but this is the 1 hour chart. Like I said, we are way, way up close. There is my XMR stamp whenever I was trying to make the whatever you call it, the thumbnail for this video. But if you were to go into the, well, let's see if we go into the 4 hour, you got this gap right here. Now, what we call this in smart money world is a fair value gap, which means in between two, basically in a 3 candle succession, if there is basically a gap to where the wicks do not touch, then there is a fair value gap. There is one up here too. I have this one marked because this one is the closest that hasn't been wrecked down. There's one here, but it's already been traded up into and then pushed through. What these gaps do, especially something like this, is when it falls this fast, this quick, and then when it tries to recover, it'll act as a magnet, and then once it gets to it, it'll act as a repellent. So the first time it hits it, boom, knocked back out. Alright, now we are on our second try. Considering that we are on our second try, this tells me that XMR or Monero is definitely wanting to get past this fair value gap. So that tells me it's bullish. Now, where would the best time to enter on something like this be, especially if you see it come up, you see it hit the fair value gap, right? because that's what I would be wanting to see through all this. This is just kind of distortion. You really don't know where the chart is going. It's going up and down. You know, you said it made another one right here, but then it fought up. You know, it made equal highs. Whenever it makes equal highs, I always tell people watch out for equal highs. It'll break them. It did. Broke the equal highs, almost came to the fair value gap, and then dropped again. So again, these are things that you have to watch out for, especially whenever they drop like that. And of course, what does it do? Comes up into fair value gap and then drops again, just like what happened here. So, but even though it dropped and kept dropping, eventually it stopped, and it stopped actually before you get these, you know, stop hunts, I guess, if you will. And usually something like this will, well, it did clear out this one. So it cleared out this one and this one. You have two lower level, or what we call sell side liquidity areas, that the market will try to penetrate, because people think that this is the support level. So if we were to draw a line from here over to here, right, a lot of people would have their buy limits set here, you know, just so they could get into the action. You know, well, that wasn't supposed to be like that, but I guess it'll work. But most people will set their buy limit something like that, just a little bit, you know, above, a little bit below. And this is what I'm talking about when I talk about seeking out liquidity. So it's seeking out these lows, and these lows to where people would have their buy limit set to try to get back in this trade. However, it'll also penetrate even further. That way it'll take that money, because it went a lot further than what most normal people would, especially if they're, you know, playing in a futures with, I don't know, especially with XMR, if you're doing, you know, 200, 300 per, you know, that could be quite a bit. So you don't want a huge stop loss. You don't want to risk a whole lot, but you want a huge reward, right? So it could just run through and then just take your money, hit your stop, and then go, and you wouldn't even know what happened. Next thing you know, you lost a couple $100, maybe a couple thousand. So that's why you got to pay attention to these lower level liquidity levels. Same thing with this one. This one seems like more what it did, as if since this one was lower than this one, you would think that what this would do is, as soon as it breached this, it would trigger a sell stop, which is what most people would have right here, trying to catch another breakout lower. So it would hit this, trigger the sell stop. They would hope it would come back, retest, and then move lower. Well, it doesn't do either. Instead, it pulls back, so it takes out these guys' stop losses. If I was to do a short position, and I did the short position right here, well, I guess we'll have to, well, there we go, short position right there. Let's say I wanted to move my stop loss there, and I wanted to catch the breakout. Boom, both sides taken out, right? So that's what I mean by seeking out liquidity. That's what the market does. It doesn't. That's why there's no, you know, specific support and resistance, because I mean, if that was the case, one of these would have been, you know, the line that's going straight across here would have been an exact support. You know, nothing would have been able to get past it. But that's not the case. It goes through them. So now that I see that the market has been going up, it hits this, it pulls back, and it's trying to fight through. I see this as a bullish scenario, and I probably would have seen this as a bullish scenario whenever right here. Okay, so here's the bullish scenario. Here you have a negative order block, right? So so basically what I mean is that this is the last down candle before your up move, or your last up move before the down move, right? I probably should have put it on the green candle instead of the red one. Your last up move before the down move, right? What that is, now once it goes bearish and crosses that line, it becomes a bearish order block. So now next time it comes up to this level, it's going to reject it. Now, how much is it going to reject it? Well, if the chart has bearish tendencies, then it'll just reverse. That's when you'll see a full-on reversal. But considering it didn't reverse, it did drop about $5 or something like that. Let me see here, 222 down to 217. Yeah, about $5. That's generally what something like that is. I usually generally say 50 pips. So $5 is probably in that general vicinity. Then it'll turn around. Looks like this one turned around, came back up. Actually, it even dropped lower if you count this wick. So it dropped, it came back up, and then dropped lower, probably to try to get people to follow a sell, and then boom, came right back up. Now we're definitely in a bullish tendency. That's when I would have seen it go bullish, and where I would have went long, probably any time after it crossed this the body of this bearish candle, right? Because now you're crossing into the the bearish order block, but you already know it's wanting to go against it. Even though it got rejected once, is it going to get rejected twice? It can. It definitely can, but probably not twice in a row. Not within a 4-hour period. So now, again, that was again within the 4 hours. So let's see what happened within a 1-hour period. So it does get rejected, comes up, gets rejected again, and then now we're seeing it move on. So I would definitely use the larger time frame for a better scope on that. But again, as soon as you see it start becoming bullish, after a big bearish move, or after a bearish order, it runs into a bearish order block, becomes bearish for a little bit, and then becomes bullish again, and then this time it just continues on. That is the best way to know that you are in a bullish scenario. So again, like I said, I probably would have put my entry here as probably a stop run, so or a buy stop, and even if it fell down again, yeah, I would have known it would probably been still, because you have this bullish, here, boom, hits it, falls, bullish again. If you had an entry on a stop run and it falls, oh well, I'll wait, because I already know it's trying to be bullish, and then there we go, we're bullish again. Now what I'm waiting for is for it to try to cross this fair value gap, or if it doesn't generally when this happens, these things usually just spring up through the fair value gap. More than, I would say 7 out of 10 times. You usually don't see a fair value gap just kind of being played around in. The price doesn't just want to stay in there. It wants to either be rejected, or it wants to go through it really fast. It doesn't like to be in these levels. So I'm expecting it to try to jump through this at any minute. I'm actually currently in a long, so that's one of the reasons why I'm checking this out, is because I want to see how how my personal wealth is doing. All of what I say is my opinion and my opinion only. I do not suggest or recommend any kind of financial advice to anybody. I am just speaking only on personal experiences through learning smart money and what smart money has taught me through an educational way. So, that being said, now, if it were to fall back, where would it fall back to? I would look at equal lows, right? Because equal lows would mean liquidity. People are going to be looking at those areas for entries, right? So again, you kind of have this equal low area here, right? That would seem to be support, right? Instead, if it was to start retracing and fall, I would actually look for this orange area. Why? Because that is another fair value gap, right? And as soon as it would touch that, hopefully that would reject it and get it to moving back up again. Because I would think it would drop through, right, these areas here, because that's where the liquidity is, opening up more money into the marketplace while hitting the fair value gap and then moving up. And who knows, people could have put a short stop loss on this and lose money to the smart money people who know their short stop losses, and that money just basically transferred from your loss to their gain. So all right, now this is what I'm expecting here. I'm wanting to see this shoot right up. I feel like it's slowly but surely happening. Sorry to make you painfully watch this. Maybe I'll speed up the video whenever it comes time, or whenever I get to edit it. But it's coming up to the equal highs here. And what I'm afraid of is that once it breaks those equal highs, it's going to pull back. I want to see if I can't grab a horizontal ray here. And the magnet. Now what I'm contemplating is whether to add more to see if it spikes up, and if I add more to the position, then I'll make more money as it continues to go. But I gotta be quick. Gotta be quick to possibly close it too. Or not close it, but take partials. Painstaking to watch. Anyway, alright. We'll check on it in just a second. I'll keep an eye on it on my phone. Let's check out Ethereum. Ethereum's been weird lately. It also, as you can see, it's all been making this kind of same big drop-off formation, and then leaving a big gap. I don't think if I did a 4 hour, I don't think this one left as big of a gap as XMR has done. As you can see, 4 hour, there was a gap here, there was a gap here, and see what I'm talking about? It likes to just run right through them. So that 4 hour gap that I'm looking at in XMR, I'm wanting to see one of these guys run right through it. But that's a 4 hour candle, so it could take 4 hours to run through it, or maybe an hour to run through that one big gap. But it looks like it did crack. It cracked the liquidity. So anybody that had a buy stop sitting resting on top of this guy just got triggered, right? So what and this is what I was afraid of, is it'll probably pull back and try to take out the stop losses first, and then probably hitting probably be hitting this red candle, which should be your bullish order block. And then continuing on upwards. That's what I think is going to happen. I just took a partial. And if it drops a little bit, let me see what kind of percentage that would be. Almost a full percent. Hey, if I can save a full percent. Anyways, this is more of a price action walkthrough. I'm kind of trying to give you the nuts and bolts of how smart money price action works, and how we can kind of, people that understand the algorithm can kind of predict what can happen on an almost minute to minute basis if we watch it close enough. It could be that it has stopped here because this could be the beginning of, well, it is on a 1 hour. I don't think that would be the beginning of a bearish order block. If we were on a 4 hour, that's a possibility. Nope. There would definitely be a red candle there. 2 hour, definitely in a red candle. So yeah, we're definitely in in bullish order block territory. That's for sure. Maybe we can even break it down to the 15-minute. Oh, there it is. There's the 15-minute bullish order block. So technically it should stop here and turn around. Or at least not get below the wick of this bullish order block. Maybe this is why it took so long for XMR to or not XMR, but Ethereum to get across all those different levels. Because it's going to go back and forth like this. Because it has to rebalance. So, and that's what it did whenever it came down and across. It didn't leave a fair value gap. You know, it rebalanced itself. But I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't think it'll possibly get lower. Here is the actual, when I first marked the bullish order block. It started right here, right, almost right exactly at the fair value gap. Here, as you can see, it's almost respecting the bodies of all the candles. So close on this candle would be 23348. What is the low here? 23344. So it's gotten just a little bit lower. By 4 cents. No, I'm not. Oh, I got a little bit lower. 23.30. Maybe about it though. And on Stash just gave me bonus Airbnb and DAL stock. I don't know if you have Stash or not, but if you do, they've been giving away a lot of partial stocks. Hey man, free money's free money. Speaking of that, Chime just signed up for that and got an extra $75 just for having it direct deposited in my direct deposit to my bank account. So that was pretty cool. Maybe I can bring that up and show you while we're watching the paint dry. Okay, there we go. So here you go. As you can see on Chime, just for having this direct deposited in my account, the referral bonus shows up there as $75. Plus you get $10 for signing up. I will put in my Stash link in the description in case you want to sign up. Put it in. And I'm just going to go back to my regular bank account after this. I think there's another one too that offers. Yeah, there's another one that offers $50, but that one's just for a $500 deposit. So I'm wondering if I can just move that money into the Oxygen account, and then it'll give me a $50 referral or bonus for a deposit, and then I made 125 bucks for doing absolutely nothing. 135 bucks for doing absolutely nothing except for signing up for things. So I've been trying to be the king of free money lately, and then it's been working out. I've been using like Fetch, which is basically all you do is you just scan your receipts and they give you gift cards to stuff. So I've already got $5 off, to Amazon or whatever. I don't know. It's been interesting, that's for sure. All right. Anyways, this is really not going anywhere fast, which is not what I expected from Monero at this point. So we'll check out Ethereum. We'll see what it's doing. This is also a 4-hour time frame. And if we look at it, let's try to take a look at it as a whole. Alright, so it comes, I mean, when it came down to here, whew, we were all scared at that point. Comes back up, touches, comes all the way back down, touches the same exact point. That is rare. And then moves up. So I do have a fib spreading from here to here. So generally, whenever I see price get into below the 61% to the 88.6%, is a time when I like to buy, especially if it's kind of making this formation, and I'm seeing it eventually want to be bullish, which can also be tricky because if you would have bought right here, boom, it would have pulled it down with you. If you had enough money, hold on to it until it takes off, or get out and then wait till it gets lower, buy back in at a lower price, and then wait till it takes off. But the current state of affairs, right? And the way I do my fibs, well, for one, this is just because it's at the lowest point, and this is the nearest high. But what I usually do is I'll wait until it breaks a new high, and then I'll place a fib on the nearest low. And I mean, even though it did break this high, the bodies didn't. So I don't like placing a fib on this. But if we're going to try to figure out where price is going, we're probably going to have to, and get in closer to detail. Find out exactly where Ethereum might be. I mean, it looks like Ethereum is doing the same thing. It's fighting. Here we go. This is the, I don't know why I have, well, the order block. Okay, so the green candle. Green candle right here would be the order block. So that would be your last up candle before going back down. I don't know what these two red and green lines are, so I am going to get rid of them. But I will put that on there because that would be your order block, and it shouldn't be red. It should be red. Well, not the Texas style, because if it was, once it clears this fair value gap, because that's what this is, it's just one big fair value gap. Once it clears this fair value gap, it looks like it's gonna back up. So you could be bullish on this, but if you are gonna be bullish on this, I would say watch out at the 2362 level, 2361 level. Take profits from there. Again, this is all opinion. This is not financial advice. This is what I would do if I was trading Ethereum. And let me see, because I don't know if I can really do. I think the fib for this would be something along the lines. We're in the hour, so I can go to the wicks. Oops. No, there it is. Okay. So, why does it keep doing that? Let's lock it. How do we lock it? Alright, so, could come up, pulled back down, inside the golden zone. Alright, looks like it's moving back out into the fair value gap. Of course, whenever it moves into a fair value gap, watch the halfway point. Wait till it gets until about halfway and measure it, actually. If you get these fair value gaps, something like a huge one like this, a big down one, and they come back up in it, measure it with a fib. So go from here down to here and look about halfway. Generally, that's when you see it fall. Right? So, not exactly perfect, but look at that. So, if you were to catch it down here on a buy, and it did come back up into this big drop area, halfway through, boom. If, I mean, that's if it doesn't automatically reject at, you know, at the beginning of this, which I'm pretty sure it probably did if we go into the 15-minute of it. Yep. So, you can see as soon as I got into the 15-minute of it, it did reject, but almost immediately after it continued on, halfway point, halfway point, halfway point 3 times, then finally fell out. Right? I'm saying that there was a breaker there. I don't think that breaker is there anymore. I think that was there when it drew it out. Now I think it's more down here. And a breaker is when you have a high, a low, and a higher high, right? That breaks the liquidity. The last down candle is going to be your breaker. That basically acts as support, believe it or not. So, if you were to get, the price was to come back down into the breaker, more than likely it's going to bounce off. I wouldn't say bounce off the top of it, but it would probably bounce off the top of it. But if it were to get inside of it, it would probably get to the lowest level and then come back out. And if that's the case, put a stop, a buy stop at the very top of that. And that way you know whenever it comes back out, you're on the right track. You're on the right run. Let's go back to Monero. Yeah, look, yep. Looks like it's wanting to run. Also want to take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been squirrely today, that's for sure. Been very, very squirrely. But I have huge faith that it's going to get to this 41330 area. And again, it's also been making these patterns. Look, see, here's what I'm talking about. It made that big drop. And then what does it do? Here, let me get to, instead of 5 minutes, let's get to like hour. Something like that. Or even in the hour. That didn't work. Let's go to the 15-minute. I'm trying to find an area to where there was a big drop. And I'm just going to do this and delete that real quick. Boom. So here to here. Alright, so it came up to the 62%. So it didn't get to the halfway point, but it got close enough. So again, I mean, it's one of those things you have to watch. You know, if you, especially if you put, and let me get rid of a lot of these fibs. I mean, I fib everything. I don't even know where this fib came from either. Oh yeah, I do, because I put it on the top. Okay, that's the most recent one, I think. Oh, now it's going back down. So let's just say that, okay, so here, I guess, would be your intermediate high. Here is your previous low that breaks that intermediate high. Alright, we're on 15-minute. I guess we could do, where'd it go? Okay. Where is the button for me to measure this one out? I don't get it. I guess I'll have to, oh, it's way over here for some reason. Okay. So this is where I would place my fib on this section. Well, and this one also did break the high. This one broke the intermediate high. So, of course, I would wait for it to drop back, and this is exactly what I did. I kind of saw this coming. I knew it was going to drop back into the golden area, or anything below the 62 to the 88.6. I mean, the 1 hour fair value gap was like perfectly the 88.6. When it started falling, I was actually in a short, and I was hoping it would get down to there, just because, yeah, you know, I was making short money. I didn't care, and because I knew it would probably turn around and come back and buy from this area. But I held on it for a little bit too long, and it started going back up, and didn't make as much as I wanted to, but turned around, ended up buying, and I'm still in a bullish endeavor with Bitcoin as well, because I do think that eventually, like I said, it will get above this 41.30 area, 413.30 area. Let's go. I think I'm gonna check XMR one time, and then I'm gonna be out because I got some things to do. But I just wanted to show you guys some things, and that was pretty much it. XMR going backwards again. Looks like it's gonna have some trouble trying to get through this fair value gap, but it does look like it wants to, you know, defeat the fair value gap. So hopefully we'll see that happen within the next few hours. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching. If you guys learned something, if you found something new that you could use in your trading and your charting, things like that, if you know, if there's something that caught your attention, or something that was like mind-blowing to you, I don't care, please tap that like button, please tap that subscribe button. I'll try to be coming out with more videos like this. I always say that I'll do like a week full of videos, and I'll drop off, and I'll do like one video every other couple days or so. But yeah, let me know what you want to see me do, what kind of pairs you want to see me, you know, uh, go in for the action, and I'll try to dissect them as best as I can, and show you how the price action walkthrough works with smart money, and let you know how all this works, how the algorithm works, yada yada yada, all that good stuff. So thanks a lot again for watching if you did, and remember to always wear your pants.